Okay, welcome to another tutorial video on my YouTube channel. My name is Mr. Olo and this is Vix Tutorials. So in today's tutorial video, I'll be going over to the logo review episode 2, or should I say logo review series episode 2. This is a series where I review logo designs sent to me by my students and my lovely subscribers. So like I said in the episode 1, if you want to submit a logo to me for reviewing, you can check down in the description of this video and you can see the WhatsApp link there where you can use in connecting with me, and you can submit your logo there. You could be among my contact list and get to see updates on designs and everything that there is to do with design, logo design, brand identity, and the rest of them. So without further ado, we're jumping right into this particular tutorial video. So right here we have we're going over to the brief. Okay, so this was sent by a very lovely subscriber. So the brief says Wanchi Enterprise Technologies. So Wanchi is a name, or it's an Igbo name, which is derived from the eastern part of Nigeria in Africa. Okay, this is a name commonly used by the Easterners, or the people they call the Igbo ethnic group in Nigeria. So Wanchi Enterprise Technologies is a tech startup in Nigeria focused on making tech services available to the average human. And their motto is reaching the zenith of technological advancement. Advertisement. I thought it was advancement. Reaching the zenith of technological advertisement. Okay, I get that. So now we go over to the page 3 where we get to see some of the logomark he was able to bring to us. And within these logomarks, we could see that there were different variations. Okay, there were different variations which were lovely. And according to the user, he said that when he took a poll on WhatsApp, and a lot of his viewers went with number 2. They went with number 2 option, and number 2 is not bad, but there are a lot of things that needs to be fixed in it. And that's what I'll be touching in this particular tutorial video. But personally, I still love the number 1. Okay, I love the number 1 concept. Okay, because one thing I've come to understand is a lot of designers might have said this to you, and they'll tell you a logo design doesn't necessarily need to drive this sort of doesn't need to tell about the company. It's just an identity. It's an image that is used to represent a particular brand, that is just used to distinguish a particular brand from another, and that is true. But at the same time, it also needs to be able to be functional. Just because you want to make a logo, just because they say a logo design is not something that you can use to just drive a message like that, or it's not a must that a logo design must contain all the brand's details and everything the brand does not necessarily mean the logo should not be functional. And one thing that makes a logo functional is the ability for the target audience to be able to absorb what that logo is and be able to just, it doesn't sway them away from at least something that has to do with the company or with the brand. What I'm simply trying to say that in as much as this particular logomark is lovely, which according to the sender, he said that most people went with this particular logomark because of it contains things that have to do with technology, which is the power icon here, as in the power icon that is here. Okay, and I think it was trying to also drive that N symbol, which was the Wanchi, which is the Wanchi's N symbol, and possibly maybe this could represent sort of T, which is the technology. But at the end of the day, what I still keep telling people is it's not a must. Okay, it's not necessarily a must that a logo design must contain every little bit of detail. Okay, it's just an icon that should be used to represent a brand, and possibly maybe just add 1 or 2 elements that could also give vibes to what that brand is about. And another thing is why I love this number 1 is I love the simplicity of this number 1, and I love the way it looks. Okay, I just love the way it looks, and I think it's, for me personally, it's going to work well. Okay, it's going to work well. So I'll be working with these 2, is number 1 and number 2, and be fixing 1 or 2 things among these particular logomarks. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right in. So I made a copy of these and I brought them into the next page, and I cropped the number 1 part out, and I also cropped the number 2 part out. So we'll be working with the number 1 first. So all we're doing here is, I wasn't the user or the subscriber didn't send me his They didn't send me the SVG or the EPS or the AI or the CDRO format or any of the vector format entirely for me to just straightforward edit it. This was sent to me as a PDF, as an image. So send it to me as an image, but I'll be doing something which I think I've made a tutorial video on it on my YouTube channel before, how to extract an element from a particular image and maybe make it turn into a vector file, how to extract an element from an image and make it a vector file, which is I can extract this particular logo and make use of the element like I drew them straight up from my CorelDRAW application, or my CorelDRAW software. So what I do is I come over here. Anyway, I've taught this in one of my tutorial videos, so if in case you've not watched that tutorial video on my YouTube channel, I think the card or the pop-up notification will be sliding down right now, and you can go check it out and you can see how I was able to extract UI icons which you can use in your design workflow. Yes, you can just take an image of a premium UI icon online, extract it and make use of the vector file in your design workflow. So now what I'll do is I'll right click, then come over here to quick trace. So after selecting the objects, okay, I right click and come over here to quick trace and I'll trace this particular image out. Now you can see that I now have the vector and the image file remains the same, or the JPEG file remains the same. So I'm just going to ungroup, and once I ungroup, I just remove the background, remove number 1, and you can see that I have all of it right here. As you can see, I can change the color if I want. I can change the color file because this has now become a vector file. So now that I've done this, I'm simply going to just ungroup this. This also, I'm just going to ungroup this. Okay, I think, okay, anyway. Now I'm going to put this aside. For now, I don't see the usefulness of it, but who knows, as we go on, we might end up making use of it. So I'm just going to keep it that way for now. So now the only thing I'm going to be fixing in this particular logo is the weight. If you notice this internal aspect, let me just delete this away. Sorry, let me delete this this gray. Yes, that is off. So if you look at very well, you can see very well that this area is thick, here is thick, but this outer layer is thin, like it's very thin. The outline is thin. So what I'll be doing here in this particular logo is to make sure I balance this outer thicker line with this internal area, because this part is thicker than this outer part and there is no sort of rhythm. There is no how would I call it, there's no rhythm, there is no repetition, that kind of a thing. Like it's not in accordance with each other and it doesn't really work well for me, especially considering this is for a tech brand. So we need to make things look appropriate in a way. This isn't a badge, though it looks like a badge, but still we can, you know, we can work with it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be increasing the outline. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and then but before I do that, I'm going to select this and select this. Okay, all of these are separate, so I'm just going to make a duplicate first. Like I always say, always make a duplicate. So I'm going to make a duplicate, then select all of this together, and then I'm going to weld them to become just one object. Then I'm going to select this also, and I'm going to change the color to something gray so that I can be able to differentiate it between this and the background. So what I'm now going to do is to go over here and I'm going to increase the outline. So I think I'm just going to go with 25 to balance the outline and the internal aspect. So this works well. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim, but before that I'm going to convert this to outline to make sure the outline is an outline. So I'm just going to come over here and I will convert outline to object. Now I can select this and trim it out. Sorry, let's say cut, which is Ctrl X or Command X. Then I'm going to weld this together, because if you notice, the object is now separate from the outline, but I want everything to be together. So I'm just going to highlight both of them and I will weld, then bring back what I deleted before. Now I can select it with the object and then trim, meaning at the end of the day, okay, and I have these negative spaces here, or yeah, these negative spaces here to make up for this, meaning all I have basically is our outlines. So that means all I have basically here are outlines, which I can now change the colors as I can. So now that we've been able to do this, okay, now we can put this aside. Now if we put this side by side, let's say if we put it side by side, now you could definitely see the difference. You can definitely see the difference between the both of them. Okay, now you can definitely see the difference. One is more robust and well optimized than this one that looks a little bit off, especially at the edges. Okay, the edges look bit off. So instead of reducing these internal areas, why don't we just increase the outline, and that is fixed. For me, this works well. And I was thinking, does this really have any role to play in this case? I was thinking of putting it here, but if I put it in here, there might be a lot of elements now, there might be a lot of elements in this design now, which personally I'm not really a fan of, filling up spaces with elements. So I was thinking of something like this, but I don't know. If this works, I don't know, whichever one works for you when it comes to this. So I'm going to just put this here. So I'm going to now make let me just delete this away just to make this easier for me. So viewers in the house, you're viewing, please select in terms of this Logomark, this number one Logomark. Okay, so in this number one Logomark, which works for you? Logomark 1. So which one particularly works for you? So let's say option 1. So let's say option 1 is this, and then this is option 2. And this is option 2. And this is option 2. So you viewers in the house, please, you can comment in the please drop your option in the comment section. Which of this particular Logomark works for you? In this Logomark 1, is it option 1 that works for you, or is it option 2? So let me know in the description of this particular video. So we are going over quickly. We have just 5 minutes. I'm trying to make this a 20 minutes video, so we just have about 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes to go. So we are going to be going over to the next one. So this particular one, we are going to do the same process. Right click, quick trace, done, bring it out, take this to this side, bring this to the middle, delete the background. I wanted to press ungroup, so I ungroup, which is Ctrl U in CorelDRAW, ungroup, and then remove this dark outline here, and there we have it. So this is it. So now the one thing I'm going to fix here, the number one thing I'm going to fix in this particular Logomark is this particular area here. I'll need to fix this. Now I'm going to fix this particular area, this I'm going to fix this. Okay, so I think the best thing I'm going to be doing in this particular phase is maybe draw a line. Let me just draw a straight line, and I'm just trying to meet up with time now. Let me bring out my knife tool, my virtual segment delete, and see if I can delete this. Okay, that will make me deleting the whole thing. So let's say I ungroup. Oh, that didn't work out. So I think we're just going to take this and trim and delete so that we can have our stuff. So now the first I'm going to be doing is this is going to take a long process, but let's see what we can do now. Let me take this out. So I was thinking if I can do this from scratch. So possibly I draw 2 circles. Okay, then maybe draw another one inside. Then make sure, now if you notice there and here, I need to make sure that they are both the same. So I'm just going to draw a box. Okay, so I'm going to center align it, bring it here, and bring this one here. So that gives me that equal length. So I'm just going to take this. Okay, I'm going to flip it around. And that might be too fast for this, but please pardon me. So let me make it 280, 270, sorry. Okay, so I'm now going to bring this and I'm going to center align it. So I'm going to bring this as a duplicate first. I always like doing that just in case, just to be on the safe side. And I'm going to draw this out. Okay, I'm not going to make it that much. But at the same time, I'm going to make a sort of a spacing like this right here, little. It doesn't have to be as wide as theirs. I don't like the spacing here is too wide, and I'm not really a fan of it. Okay, so now that is done, okay, the next step to take is maybe draw another circle down here. I'm just going to bring another circle down here, and then maybe increase it. Should I increase it? Maybe bring another one down here. I think what I'm just going to do is I'm going to just select both circles, okay, just to give it a sort of an equal equivalent, then bring it down here, make it duplicate. Yep, so I think this is what I'm going to be doing, but in this case I want to make ours different, so I'm just going to take this and bring it to this top side. Okay, I'm going to bring it to this top side, or preferably I'll bring it this way. Yes, just bring it. I don't want anything to extend beyond this length, so I'm going to just do that. Now that is done, the next step is I'm not going to do anything here, okay, but rather I'm going to bring this, make a duplicate. Okay, how will I actually do this area? Okay, I think I know how. There's no need for me to bring these duplicates, so I'm just going to leave this right here. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is, since I'm not going to be drawing these lines, but rather I'll be drawing these lines, so I'm thinking of making this a straight line in a way. Thinking of making this a straight line. So what do we do? Or let's see what we can do. So let me just draw a straight line somewhere around here. Okay, just to make it a bit unique. Somewhere around here, and then we can make a duplicate of what we just did. This is me reviewing and just giving some corrections, so this isn't what I would actually do for a client in a client's job. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this out, and I'm going to just, now everything is highlighted. I come over here and choose my smart view tool, then I zoom in and I just okay, I think I'm going to do another thing here. Though I need to fix this length, but I'm going to make a duplicate of this because it needs that spacing. So I'm just going to make a small duplicate. Now everything is, I think I'm just going to delete this one. Okay, and then save this out this way, and then come over here and choose my smart view tool. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to just select this area. Okay, now that this is done, the next thing I'm going to do is possibly come here. What's next? What do we do again? And possibly do this. But this is going to drive a different message. Okay, this is going to be driving a different message entirely. And that is what I didn't want to go, because at the end of the day, I'm still giving this M vibe. Okay, I'm still giving this M vibe. So I think what I'm going to be doing is to go all the way around. I'm just going to go all the way around like this. I think this will work well. This should work better. I'm just going to go all the way around, because at the end of the day, I'm going to show you guys what I'm simply trying to bring out in this particular logo. So I'm just going to go all the way around for this logo. So I'm just doing this. So now that we've gotten this, our logo mark here, so I'm just going to bring this and I'm going to weld. Now I've welded, I'm going to go back to my shape tool, select all the nodes and reduce the nodes. And I think we are good to go. You are. So I'm going to put this and I'm going to just color, then remove the outline. And there we go. So now what I simply did was, if you look at this logo very well, in as much as this doesn't really look ideal, but I was able to correct a few things here. In as much as now, if you look at the brief properly, let's go over to the brief again. You will see that it's a startup, it's a tech startup in Nigeria focused on making tech services. Now we are able to also give other tech services this on button. Now it doesn't have to, the circle doesn't have to be complete. Okay, that is one thing about technology. The circle doesn't really have to be complete. Sorry, I said that is one thing about technology. That's one thing about logo designs. The circle doesn't really have to be complete. Sometimes you just have to do certain things in your logo design and allow the viewer to complete the message in their head. It's just, you know, there's some puzzles that are just easy to complete. You know, there's some puzzles that are just easy to complete. Just take a look at people like create this sort of thoughtful, that deep thinking in your logo design, it helps go a long way to show how creative you were while crafting out that particular logo design. So we're just going to give this. So let's go back to the brief again. It says it's a tech startup, and they are focused on making tech services available to average human. And if you look at the Logomark properly, what do we have here? We have the if you look at the Logomark properly, what do we see? We see the shape of a human being, the shape of an average human. At the end of the day, we also, yes, I know at the beginning we said we're not going to really dive into, we just wanted to create something that would just drive a definition to what, just to give the brand a particular icon, a particular name, or a particular image. But at the end of the day, it's still not bad if your logo ends up being functional and also interpretative that relates to what the brand is about. It's not that bad. So you can see that at the end of the day, we have a tech startup in Nigeria focused on making tech services. So we have, which is Wanchi, and we have the sort of the end for the Wanchi, sort of. Then we have the power button, which includes what? Power on, tech services, this sort of ability to offer tech services to an average overall human. So you can see that we're able to derive a particular logo for this. Now we can make this bold. Maybe if the outline, if we feel that this is too tiny, we can make it a bit bolder. Okay, that is just weird. So let's try to see 10. Okay, I think this works. We can just make this maybe bold, make it more bold, and then let's then make it duplicate, select everything, objects, convert outline to objects, select all, and weld, and then you go. We have a very nice Logomark for us to make use of. Now that brings us to the end of this particular tutorial video. If you loved it so much, please hit the like button so that more people can see this video and learn from it. And if it's your first time coming on to the channel and you've not subscribed, please do that, as this helps us to grow. And also make sure to share this video with other creatives so that they can learn as you've learned in this particular tutorial video. And I'll be seeing you guys in my next review or in my next tutorial video. And of course, always stay safe and stay creative. And if you want to improve your skills in graphic design, make sure to click on any of the video showing on your screen right now. And until the next video, stay creative. Namaste.